that she could return there. Jane was in a catch-22 situation. Although Shepherd had agreed for her to remain with the CID at Bow Street, he gave her very little opportunity to prove herself, and she was becoming increasingly frustrated. She was due to attend a court appearance for a drunk driver. Usually this kind of case would have been handled by a uniformed officer, but Jane had been driving an unmarked CID car when the drunk driver had driven straight into the back of it. He had been belligerent and quite abusive. On arriving at the court, she was annoyed to find that there was a backlog of cases being heard, so she went to get herself a coffee. As she headed back to the waiting room, she was almost sent flying by a DC bounding through the door. "God, I'm sorry," said DC Brian Edwards, then, recognizing her, gave a wide smile. "Jane, it's good to see you." "Hello, Brian. You got a case here this morning as well?" "Yeah, flying squad job. Committal hearing on a 3-hander for armed robbery." "You're on the flying squad?" Jane tried to hide her surprise. Edwards was young and almost as inexperienced as she was. "Yeah, it's completely changed my life. The blokes on the squad are a great bunch of guys. We work all over London, investigating armed robberies. The adrenaline buzz when you nick an armed blagger on the pavement is incredible." "Congratulations. I must say, you look good." Edwards had always been rather untidy and scruffy-looking, with his thick, curly hair worn long, and his shirt always hanging out of his trousers. Now he was wearing a trendy leather jacket, a white T-shirt, and dark trousers with side-zipper boots. "Are there many women on the flying squad?" Jane asked. "No way. I doubt they'd ever bring in a woman. It's tough work, Jane, and we get results." Before she could respond to his arrogance and chauvinism, Edwards glanced at his watch. "So, what are you here for?" "Just a traffic offence. A drunk bloke rammed into me whilst I was driving the CID car." Edwards laughed. He turned to look over at 2 men dressed in similar clothing to him as one gestured for him to join them. "See you around," Edwards said, as he sauntered over to them. By the time Jane got to the CID office 3 hours later, she was in a foul mood. Edith, the CID's clerical officer, who had worked alongside Jane since she started at Bow Street, smiled warmly when she saw her. "Everything go all right in court?" "Yes, guilty. Banned for 2 years and a hefty fine. When do you think how much paperwork I had to do to get him in court? He wore a smart suit and tie and said it was out of character, blah, blah, blah. Considering the lip he gave me, he got off lightly." "Well, you've got a load of shoplifting crime sheets on your desk from DCI Shepherd. There's been a slew of clothes nicked from Oxford Street stores today." "Shoplifters? That's a uniform crime investigation, not CID." "Not when they all happened within an hour of each other. Shepherd reckons it's an organised gang who sell the stolen goods on market stalls." "Well, it sounds a lot more interesting than the stuff I usually investigate." Edith sipped her tea. "He wants you to get statements from all the shops and an inventory of exactly what was stolen, along with the value." "Oh, my God," Jane muttered. "Don't shoot the messenger," Edith retorted, resuming her typing. Jane began to sift through the crime sheets and statements on her own desk. "I met DC Brian Edwards at court. Remember him from the Susie Luna murder?" Edith looked blank. "The rapist? Peter Allard? He got a life sentence and—" "Oh, yes, I remember. Long time ago now. Over a year. Edwards is on the flying squad now." "Really?" "He said they never take women on the squad." "Well, I doubt any decent woman would want to be on it." Edith's tone sharpened. "They're a bunch of chauvinistic bastards. Ever since that TV series came out, The Professionals, they act like they're film stars, the lot of them. They think they're God's gift. There have been a lot of unpleasant rumours about corruption, too. But far be it from me to name names." Jane processed the Oxford Street reports for the rest of the day, drawing up charts of the shops, times of the thefts, and a description of the suspects. She then filed everything methodically, just as DCI Shepherd liked. But she was finished by 3:30.